Well, everyone, it appears that the Black Panther takeover is nearly upon us. Of course, in recent years, there has been no shortage of Marvel games. You got the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course, Spider-Man, just to name a few. And with even more on the way, it seems that very soon, Black Panther will have his time in the sun as far as video games are concerned. Thanks in part to the new game announced by EA. That's right, a third-person action-adventure game based on Black Panther is being published by EA and being developed by EA's new studio, Cliffhanger Games. Now you might be wondering, who the hell are Cliffhanger Games? Well, the short answer is nobody. This is a completely new studio under the EA banner, and thus there is nothing for us to look to draw a comparison to. Some people have taken to drawing attention and comparison to Shadow of Mordor because some of the devs now at Cliffhanger formerly worked on Shadow of Mordor, including the Black Panther Game's project lead Kevin Stevens, who was the head of Monolith Studios during development of Shadow of Mordor. But people are only drawing up that comparison because it would obviously be very cool if a Black Panther game played anything like Shadow of Mordor. But the truth is, the dev team that has been assembled and called Cliffhanger Games has a bunch of individuals who have worked on a ton of different games, including Call of Duty, God of War, Halo Infinite, and Shadow of Mordor. But we don't know in what capacity these people worked on these games. For all we know, it's just two guys at Cliffhanger who worked on Shadow of Mordor, and they both could have been on environmental design. In fact, Kevin Stevens himself, while he was the head of Monolith, he wasn't the creative director of Shadow of Mordor. So he was less so the person who steered the ship and more so the person who sent the ship off. Hardly a recipe to recreate Shadow of Mordor or anything like it. My point is, there really isn't a good, reliable point of reference when it comes to how this game might end up playing. At least not yet. And we shouldn't be desperately trying to count our chickens before they hatch. However, I do understand why we would, because we basically got no information about this thing aside from the fact that it exists. As I said, this will be a third-person action-adventure game because, duh, of course it will, it's Black Panther. But aside from that and the brand new developers, we don't have a lot to go on. No release window, no nothing. Not even the consoles that this thing's gonna be on. Now, having said that, there was a quote from the project lead Kevin Stevens that intrigued me just a tad. Kevin said, and I quote, "We are dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over their narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game." End quote. Now, agency is the key word for me here because it could possibly imply some cool things. What's most likely is that the player agency he speaks of will be present in how we approach combat, go in stealthily or just head first and beat everyone up, that type of thing. Or even in some dialogue or plot choices that shift the narrative. But just maybe, and this is a long shot, but what if you can create a character, or at the very least select a gender? Because isn't the Black Panther title and power set a mantle of sorts to be passed down and passed on to whoever in the tribe or some shit like that? I can see them possibly writing some circumstances that lead to your created character becoming the next Black Panther, and that way you get all the cool narrative freedom of a custom character with all the cool abilities of Black Panther without forsaking the lore. That to me would be awesome. But of course, that's not gonna happen. But who knows, maybe. I think that'd be dope though. Oh, and also, I'm not like super big into Marvel, so feel free to tell me if that's actually impossible because I got all that Black Panther mantle stuff wrong. Let me know if it doesn't work like that. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we have to even speculate on with the info that we have so far. I honestly just find it wild that this game was announced and is coming, because if you remember last year we got the announcement of another Marvel game set in World War II that would star both Black Panther and Captain America. And that game is being led by Amy Hennig, best known for her creative directing on the Uncharted series. I'll link the video about that game at the end. But yeah, there's gonna be 2 different games with Black Panther as a protagonist, theoretically releasing relatively close to each other. The takeover is coming. But okay, that's all from me. I think I'm done. Share your thoughts about this EA Black Panther game in the comments. Please like the video if you enjoyed, or maybe even subscribe. But either way, thanks for watching. Until next time, I am Waifu Collector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai and Wakanda forever. Goodbye.